Before disco ruled the world, before the culture, the fashion, and the movement, there was a moment, a shift, and a sound that was just beginning to form. A rhythm that brought people together on the dance floor. And at the center of that sound was a voice that was clear, powerful, and unmistakable. Long before disco became a global phenomenon, this woman helped define its foundation. Her voice would become one of its earliest sounds. Her music would fill the dance floors across the globe, but her story is one many have forgotten. This is the story of a voice that helped start a movement. The centerpiece of today's video is all about Carol Douglas. Now before we start, let's be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and push that notification bell to be sure you won't miss out on any more uploads. Now without further ado, let's cue that intro. Born on April 7th, 1948 in New York, but raised in Bed-Stuy. She was born into a family connected to the arts of New York City. She is the daughter of Minnie UNSUNG, a jazz performer who has been cited for the inspiration for the Cab Calloway classic song, Minnie the Moocher. She is also the cousin of Sam Cooke. Her early exposure to performance shaped her path. Her early performance to music shaped her path. She worked in theater and developed a strong stage presence. Unlike many artists who enter music through recording, Douglas had experienced live performances and understanding how to connect with an audience. At the age of 10, Douglas was a contestant and a winner on a TV game show named That Tune. Her voice carried clarity and emotional precision. These were traits that would later make her perfect for dance music. She attended the Rilla Mae School for Professional Children and then Quintanos High School for Young Professionals, where she was classmates with Gregory Hines, Bernadette Peters, Carol Lindley, and Patty Duke. While she was in high school, Douglas performed with a female trio that was named April, May, and June, and Little Anthony and the Imperials hired them as management clients. In 1965, she recorded a one-off single for RCA Victor Records that was called I Don't Mind, under the name Caroline Cook. Her career with RCA ended prematurely as she was pregnant at the age of 15, which ended her stay with the label. Earlier in her career, she created advertising jingles for Ideal Toys and General Mills. For most of the 60s, she pursued an acting career, appearing in one episode of The Patty Duke Show, but primarily appearing in theater performances. Douglas later worked as an understudy for Janelle Allen in The Life of Mary McLeod Bethune, which was an off-Broadway show. During this time, she married her high school sweetheart, Ken Douglas, in the mid-60s, and she returned to her musical career by the early 70s, playing nationwide in the oldie circuit, touring with the Chantels. Before disco had a name, in the early 70s, the music scene was evolving. Soul, funk, and pop was beginning to merge. In underground clubs, particularly in cities like New York, DJs was experimenting with longer tracks, extended grooves, and rhythmic consistency. This became the birthplace of disco. But at the time, no one knew it yet. Carol Douglas was stepping into this moment at exactly the right time. Midland International Records recruited Douglas in 1960. Midland International Records recruited Douglas in 1974 through an advertisement in the Showbiz magazine. The label vice president and record producer had heard Sonny's UK smash singles, Doctor's Orders, and he was looking for a female vocalist to record it for the United States market. Douglas' audition resulted into her receiving a 5-year contract, and also her rendition of Doctor's Orders peaked number 2 on the disco charts number 9 on the R&B charts, and number 11 on the pop charts. The song was reimagined with Carol Douglas' voice. Her version transformed the song. The production emphasized rhythm, the arrangement emphasized the movement, and her vocals brought it all together. The song became a hit, especially in clubs. More importantly, it became one of the earliest records to embody what disco would become. This wasn't just a hit. This song became the blueprint. Carol Douglas' recordings captured the essence of early disco. Her voice didn't overpower the music, it moved with it. This balance was key to disco's success. She made her album debut in 1975 with the Carol Douglas album that peaked 177 on the Billboard 200 charts and number 37 on the R&B charts, followed by the 1976 album Midnight Love Affair that peaked 188 on the Billboard 200 charts, and the 1977 album Full Bloom that peaked 139 on the Billboard 200 charts. Songs that charted after Doctor's Orders was A Hurricane Is Coming Tonight that peaked number 81 on the pop charts, Midnight Love Affair that peaked 102 on the pop charts, Dancing Queen that peaked 110 on the pop charts, We Do It that peaked 108 on the pop charts, and Night Fever that peaked 106 on the pop charts. Douglas' 1979 album, Coming to My Life, was an obvious bid to recharge her club popularity. She had enjoyed several disco hits with studio groups. Although she did not appear in the disco-themed movie Saturday Night Fever, she was enough of a disco star that her name appeared on the marquee of the disco feature in the movie. The rapid rise of disco also brought intense competition. New artists consistently entered the scene. Major labels, they began pushing heavily to promote their acts. While Carol Douglas was a pioneer in this genre, the industry often shifted its focus towards newer faces. Such shift created a challenge faced by many early contributors. Foundational contributions often go unrecognized. By the late 70s, disco faced cultural backlash. What had once been celebrated became criticized and even rejected by parts of the industry. Events like Disco Demolition Night symbolized this shift. Radio formats changed and labels, they moved on, and many disco artists found themselves navigating in a rapidly changing landscape. Carol Douglas continued recording, performing, and adapting as the industry evolved. Although disco faded from the mainstream dominance, its influence remained. Artists began blending their elements into new genres, and Douglas' work remained part of that foundation. The retro boom of the 90s put Douglas back on the map, when she was on the road touring, making personal appearances at several special events, including the Martin Luther King concert series, Beatstock 97, Saturday Night Fever 20th Anniversary Reunion, and the Dance Music Hall of Fame ceremony. In 2003, she returned to the recording studio, where she was invited to sing background vocals on Wanda D's album, Goddess Is Here. During this period, she also re-recorded a numerous of her hits. In 2003, she also made an appearance on the People's Court as a plaintiff in the case that was involving her and her fellow disco diva, Sharon Brown. After the ruling, Brown stated that Douglas' decision to take her to court was a publicity stunt to get some free time on TV. The impact of early disco, including Carol Douglas' work, can still be heard today. The structure, rhythm, and energy she helped popularize became building blocks for future genres. Recently, there has been a renewed appreciation for early disco pioneers. Collectors, DJs, and historians have revisited the origins of the genre. Carol Douglas' contributions are now recognized as essential to the disco development. Her music has found new audience, proving its timeless appeal. Carol Douglas may not always be the first name mentioned in disco history, but her impact is very undeniable. She was there at the beginning, and she helped define a sound that would change music forever. Her voice became part of a movement that brought people together across generations and cultures. Some artists chase trends, others create them. Carol Douglas was there when disco was just an idea, just a rhythm, just a feeling, and she helped it turn into something real. Because music isn't just about who gets remembered, it's about who made the moment possible. And in the story of disco, her voice was there from the start. Now, before we go, I have a question for you all. What is your favorite song by Carol Douglas? Before I go, I want to take a second to promote my Discord. Over here, I provide a safe space for my supporters. We discuss music of all genres. You can provide me feedback on recent uploads, etc. If that interests you, then go ahead and check me out. The link is in my bio. While I have y'all here, if you would like to support the channel further, then feel free to become a member. By doing so, you help make these videos possible. I thank each and every one of you who supported me along this journey.